Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Scarland here bringing you a new Neverwinter video, and today we have some exciting news. So first and foremost, I am a little under the weather. My wife actually gave me a cold, so GG for that. So this is not going to be a very professional video. I'm probably going to be sniffling a lot. Don't know how long this video is going to be. It's irrelevant. It's exciting times. So today, we got a new blog post, and they announced, as the topic suggests, premium dungeon drops. And it is finally here. It's finally here. After waiting a substantial amount of time, and in my own personal opinion, something that should have happened a long time ago, is now finally coming. Updated rewards from dungeon chests, thus giving players the experience to invest their time by farming dungeons and actually getting rewarded accordingly. So this is huge. This is huge. I thought I was excited for mythic mounts. No. This far surpasses my mythic mount excitement. Now this gives me a reason to actually go back into dungeons and start farming again. This is huge news. Just came out today. As a reference point, today is September 22nd of 2020. Now, this isn't released yet. This was just the announcement. It's a little sneak peek. Hopefully, over the next coming weeks, this will start slowly getting implemented into the game, and we can start farming. So let's dive into this blog post and take a look at this, because, I mean, this is some intense stuff here. Some players are aware that end chests in queued content have the chance to drop a premium item, such as a mount skin, a companion, or even the elusive Coalescent Ward and Preservation Ward. So this has been there since the first iteration of the dungeon rewards, right? You always have a chance to pull something extra. Now, the problem has been that extra stuff was way too rare, and it just wasn't good, unfortunately. I mean, there's no other way to put it other than it wasn't good. If you're a long-time Neverwinter player, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't want to spend 20 minutes, 25 minutes in a dungeon. You finally get to the end of that dungeon. You complete the dungeon. You have some self-accomplishment by completing that dungeon, only to open the chest and get a green mount skin that might be worth 500 AD. So, yeah, this was a long overdue system, and we're going to jump right into it. Other players might not realize such drops exist, which speaks volumes on why we wanted to improve these drops. So the second sentence basically says, yes, we realized the RNG drop rates were extremely low, and the items were bad on top of that, right? So not only did you have bad RNG drops where some players that play Neverwinter didn't even know that you could get additional drops out of dungeons because the RNG was so bad. We are rebuilding those tables, talking about loot tables, to improve the odds of premium items dropping. The harder and the longer content, the more likely it will be to reward a premium item in the end chest. So this is a key feature here that you need to take note of, is of if you're farming Zariel, if you're farming Tower of the Mad Mage, if you're farming the latest content like Infernal Citadel, those harder dungeons, by reading this, seems to be that they're going to have a higher drop chance than, let's say, if you're running Demogorgon or Swarvenborg or Tiamat or Epic Temple of the Spiders or Kessel's Retreat or any of the other dungeons we have in the game. Here are the list of the items you can be rewarded with when they go live. Now, there was confusion when this blog went up today. Everyone thought that these rewards were going live today, because today was actually a patch day, right? There was a patch for all platforms. That's not the case. This is not live. I want to make that abundantly clear. As of filming this video, again, it's September 22nd, these are not live yet. This is going to be coming, hopefully, soon. Let's look at the rewards. I mean, they've been on your screen. You should already be wetting the pants by now. Companion upgrade tokens. Huge win. Mount upgrade tokens. So now we have the new mount system in the game. Well, now you can actually get mount upgrade tokens out of chests. Astral diamonds. Now take note. Refined Astral Diamonds, not rough, so that means it's not going to go against your rough AD threshold for the day of 100,000. Trade bars. We need to just pause. Okay? We need to just pause and grasp our head around what is happening. The game is changing. These rewards are so significant to any long-time Neverwinter player that new players might not grasp the importance of these rewards. Especially trade bars. Trade bars, the only source available was locked behind a paywall. You had to open lockboxes, whether you have VIP and you were gaining 1 enchanted key a day, or you were simply just buying enchanted keys and spam opening lockboxes. You would always get the consolation prize of getting X amount of trade bars per lockbox. So they were essentially locked behind a paywall to a degree, right? So now, in the future system, guys, no more. You can now get trade bars out of this premium dungeon loot, which then essentially equates to they just redid the trade bar merchant. The Tarmaloon trade bar merchant just got an update not that long ago, and it's going to most likely continue to get updates as time progresses. But you use those trade bars for enchantments, runestones, your bonding rank 15s are in there, and rank 15 radiance, etc. Every rank 15 enchantment is available on the trade bar star now. And now casual players, newer players, can simply just farm dungeons and very slowly accumulate trade bars to use in the trade bar store. That in itself is a gigantic win going forward for the community. Now, again, they do have wards listed here, even though they kind of were on the drop table. They just had an abysmal drop rate. So I'm assuming coalescent wards and preservation wards. Genie's Gifts, again, to help those people or alternate characters catch up with past campaigns. Remember, it's a 7-year-old game. We're up to mod 19. A new player coming into the game has to grind out all of those past campaigns. Genie's Gifts, it gives you a little boost, right? Now, here's a funny thing here. Scrolls of Raised Dead and Raised Dead Team. Now, they're obviously talking about Scroll of Mass Life. It's funny because this is actually posted by WinWin. If you're unfamiliar who WinWin is, she's actually the senior community manager at Cryptic Studios, and she's the community manager for Magic Legends, their future game. So she probably got the text wrong. This is obviously supposed to be Scroll of Mass Life, so we're not getting a new scroll in the game. At least I don't think so, right? I mean, I cannot confirm or deny, but I am assuming that these are Mass Life scrolls, alright? Stone of Health. Mounts and companions rank uncommon to rare, so mount skins and companions up to rare quality. 36 slot bag. So this is the old runic bag that we had for the very longest time until they finally introduced the new 42 slot bag. But now, you could get 36 slot runic bags as a dungeon reward. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I can never have too much space, right? Alternate characters I use for bank characters, they all need bag space. So getting a couple extra bags here and there and not have to actually paying physical cash for that stuff is huge. And here we go. Here we go. Are you ready? Legendary account-wide mounts. And they're going to be very rare, right? They're going to be very rare. They're not going to be dropping like water, but you do have the chance, may RNG be on your side, to actually pulling a legendary, not only a legendary, but account-wide mount. I don't know what to tell you guys. What more could you possibly want? Right? This is absolutely bonkers. This is insane. In what world would you have told me a couple years ago, yeah, Gar, they're going to put legendary mounts in drop tables? Right? For the most part, 99% of all legendary mounts are locked behind a paywall. right? There are very few exceptions, such as the Beholder's personal tank you could have farmed 100% for free. Again, may RNG be on your side for that. But we also know Portobello's, the event that it comes from, is currently disabled. When and if it'll ever return, we don't know. But 99% of legendary mounts throughout the past 7 years of this game's life cycle has obviously been locked behind a paywall. Going forward, not anymore. You will now have a very small chance to get one out of dungeon chests. And I would expect this to only be in the latest content. You're talking about Zariel, Tower of the Mad Mage, and Infernal Citadel. And maybe Infernal Citadel. We don't even know, right? It could only be Zariel and Tower of the Mad Mage that you even have a possibility to even pull this. But we don't know. We don't have enough concrete evidence yet, right? This was all just released today. Now here is the problem, here is the line that a lot of people are just not able to grasp. Believe it or not, there's actually upset people by this. I don't understand how or why these overall changes are 100% good for the overall community pushing and progressing this game forward. But, however, there are some salty people out there that just aren't happy, right? And there's nothing you can do about that. All of the premium items that drop are bound to account, with the exception of the legendary mount. Okay? So everything is bound to account. You can't farm dungeons to make a profit per se. You can't farm dungeons and gain, scroll of mass life and then go ahead and flip those scroll of mass life on the auction house. You're not going to be able to do that. Alright? And there are reasons that this was in play and put into place, right? You have things like overinflation, etc., etc. If you have a mass influx of the overall community farming dungeons non-stop, you're literally just going to devalue everything in the game, essentially. So, the legendary mount will be sellable, right? Because we don't exactly know what legendary mounts are going to be on the drop table. Are all of the legendary mounts going to be available from dungeons? So if I open up a Infernal Citadel chest and I so happen to pull account-wide Celestial Stag or a Giant Strider or one of those lesser mounts that aren't really sought after, at least I'll have the option that I can go ahead and try to sell that to a player that still might need legendary mounts. Or, we just got mythic mounts in the game. So everyone essentially needs 10 legendary mounts, which in turn they have to turn into 10 mythic mounts. So the demand for legendary mounts is still going to be high currently until we see more and more people obtain those 10 mythic mounts, and then the demand goes down. So as it sits right now, I can see the arguments on both sides of the fence on why some people are upset that these are going to be bound to account, right? But ultimately, none of that should matter. You have to put your emotions to the side, your own personal emotions, and look and see what's better overall for the community and what's for the game and the future of the game. Now, as a veteran player myself, I've been waiting for dungeon loot changes for 3 years, maybe longer than 3 years, so I don't care. I don't care that this stuff is account bound. One thing I said on my stream earlier today was that a veteran player like myself, and any veteran player out there that knows better, knows that you can never have too many resources. So when you're looking at these resources, companion upgrade tokens, mount upgrade tokens, even just getting Astral Diamonds as a drop, trade bars, Coalescent Preservation Wards, Genie's Gifts, Scroll of Mass Life, Stone of Health, these are all things that I use, right? Maybe not so much the companion tokens or the mount upgrade tokens right now, but you have to look to the future. When new companions come out and they all of a sudden become best in slot than what we currently have, I have to upgrade that stuff. This gives another source of all of these materials. The trade bars is the biggest thing. And my argument to those players that are so butthurt about bound to account, well, listen up. Here is the pro tip. Trade bars are going to be your biggest source of income, because you're going to farm those trade bars and then buy enchantments off the trade bar merchant, and then you're going to flip those enchantments. Anyone with a mediocre IQ can figure that out. So I don't know why there's so many people upset about these changes when you should be rejoicing. I mean, would you rather Cryptic not do anything at all and we just keep the same system that we've had in play for a very long time? Are you just going to say, who cares, and go play another game? I mean, these changes are significant for the future of the game. These items can show up in all queued content and chests with the exception of leveling dungeons. So like your 3-man leveling dungeons, you can't just steamroll through those. Excuse me. I apologize. Again, I am sick. So you can't just steamroll Cloak Tower and pull legendary mounts, right? That just doesn't make sense. So all the queued content minus leveling dungeons. With these changes based on feedback from the CDP, we hope these improved tables will make your dungeon runs that much more exciting. Once these changes go live, be on the lookout for a brand new event, the Dungeon Delver's Delight, which is going to double the chance of premium items dropping. So not only are we getting all of these new premium dungeon rewards, guys, but there's also going to be a new event introduced into the game with a double the chance odds of actually pulling premium items. So that in itself is going to be awesome, right? You're going to farm as many dungeons as you can during the event period to maximize your output. And I can see them continuing sprinkling this in throughout the years to come, right? Every 3 months or so, it'll be in the rotation that, hey, yeah, this coming weekend is Dungeon Delver's Delight. We're going to be farming dungeons, you know? So that's my feelings on it. I am just beyond myself when this was released today, looking at this, analyzing this. Now, don't get me wrong, I am still going to critique this system. Don't you worry. Once this system gets released, there are a lot of questions that need to be answered. What legendary mounts are going to be on the loot table? Is it going to be all of them? Is it going to be a select few? What's the status of the legendary mount drops? How rare are they going to be? Is it better just to buy enchanted keys and pop a bunch of boxes and hope for RNG? Are we talking less than a 1% drop chance? You know, we're going to have to thoroughly test this system. Again, trade bars, let me reiterate. The scaling of the rewards needs to coincide with the dungeons themselves. I can solo Kessel's Retreat in under 5 minutes. I can solo Shores of Tehran by myself in 5 minutes. I shouldn't be getting, 20 trade bars out of those easier skirmishes. I should mainly see maybe 5 trade bars of, give or take 5 trade bars. And then when you move up to like the harder content, the harder you go, the more rewards. And it needs to be balanced like that. The same thing with the mount tokens and the companion tokens. How much are we actually going to get? Is it going to be a flat number for everything? Because then ultimately everyone's just going to farm the easy dungeons and no one's going to do the hard stuff, right? You have the AD. How much Astral Diamonds are we going to get? Are we still going to get rough AD on top of that too? So for instance, if I do a Cradle of the Death God, open both chests, I'm getting upwards of 20,000 rough AD, but what if I pop a normal AD on top of that? How much? How much Astral Diamonds? 10,000? 20,000? 30,000? 100,000? What ranges are we talking? And again, if I'm doing Tower of the Mad Mage and I get 50,000 Astral Diamonds out of Tower of the Mad Mage, I shouldn't expect to get 50,000 out of Kessel's Retreat, right? Or the many coin bank heist, or any of the easy skirmishes, right? So there's going to be a lot of critique following the implementation of this system. Hopefully going forward, the tweaks will be adjusted. Hopefully the system just goes into play and everything's flawless. So, yeah, guys, there it is. Absolutely insane. Absolutely bonkers. I'm really excited for this because now I have a reason to do dungeons again. And as a casual player or someone new coming into the game, this is significant to those players, right? They have the catch-up mechanics already in place, and now they can actually start farming trade bars or getting mount skins or even getting the 36 slot bag. That's huge to a brand new player who is going to suffer from not having enough bag space. So, Stone of Health. Even me, myself, I use Stone of Health all the time. So getting some Stone of Health for free, it's a huge win. Scroll of the Mass Life. Huge win. So, make sure, leave me comments below. Are you excited about this? Or are you one of those salty bastards that are just never happy with anything? Leave me comments below. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. And let's just discuss it. Let's have some discussions. I'm sure this is going to be the hot topic over the next several weeks until this gets implemented. So leave me comments below. Let me know your opinions on it. And that's all I got for you guys today. I'm really excited. Can't wait till this gets implemented in the game. And yeah, I'll see you guys real soon.